I'm Mayor Bob Rucci, and welcome to the State of the City. In our video, you're going to hear from our employees and about their dedication to move our city forward to be a safe and business-friendly city. You're going to hear about some of the challenges that we face, and you're going to hear about some of the progress that we've made in the past year. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Although the police and fire department are easily identified as key players in making Hagerstown a safe city, I think it's important to note that it's a collaborative effort with all the other departments, especially when we're talking about all the events that the nonprofits and the city puts on from year to year. We work very closely on a daily basis with the other departments and department heads such as Public Works, Economic Development, Code, and everywhere from that to the Water Department, who provides safe drinking water for the residents of the city.
Our water meets all the requirements of the Safe Water Drinking Act, and it's really good water. A lot of customers have actually said they prefer this water in Hagerstown opposed to any bottled water company. I like just meeting all the standards and knowing that you're sending out good water for people to drink and providing a service for other people.
As a maintenance worker with Public Works, we go through the streets. They pick out certain streets through each year for an overlay, and we'll go through and repair and rebuild the storm drains as needed. And then once that's caught up, then usually in the fall time, we'll go through and do sidewalks, which tripping hazards, sinking, such as that, just repair the sidewalks for the public. And then wintertime, as it is now with the snow coming, we'll do plowing, which changes from storm to storm. If it's a minimal amount, if it's just ice or whatnot, we'll wait till it gets wet and go out and salt. We can't pre-treat within the city. We'll salt, and then with a bigger storm coming through, we'll go out and plow first and then salt. Because if we salt before we plow, then we're just plowing salt off, is why a lot of the storms people will see the streets have snow on them, but we're waiting to get a little bit of accumulation for the salt to basically grab onto and do its job.
We moved in about 2.5 years ago, and this is an older house, and we needed some work with the water, lights, and the response was phenomenal. We got fast responses, we got all the favorable decisions, and the work that needed to be done was great. Most importantly, we also have an alley that has a blind spot, so we contacted the Department of Public Works to see if we can install our own traffic mirror, which is located right there. Within a day, they came in, they approved it, and we needed an extension in order to install the mirror, and it was all done. As I can say, all the employees are competent, very responsive, and they really make you feel like they want to work with you towards your goal.
We maintain and operate the street lighting system for the City of Hagerstown. In the City of Hagerstown consists of high-intensity discharge lighting and some LED lighting, and they both lend themselves to the safety and security of the patrons doing business with the businesses that are located downtown, along with maintaining all of our sub-transmission and distribution electric lines that are in our territory. We do have an active street lighting program along with the overhead lights on 30-foot poles like you see behind us, also the decorative 10-foot lighting like you can see in the square. That both provides pedestrian lighting and vehicular lighting when you're driving down the street. And it lends itself to the safety and feeling of the people in downtown doing business here. And we do maintain those lights. We paint them, we remove them, put new ones up actively throughout the year.
The one thing that our office is doing is trying to do more outreach to our community to try to make them more knowledgeable of why does the Planning and Code Administration Department exist. And we're here to make sure that they're safe and that different projects are going on to just make it a better community and be more business friendly. One of those ways to educate people is we're doing some social media outreaches by doing Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages that our department will be distributing information on a weekly basis, letting people know what's going on with our office, and are available to answer questions through that platform to help people understand our department better.
I feel that here, under our current leadership, we've taken community policing to another level, and we've done that through acquiring grant money to hire 3 resource officers. They're actually dedicated to the communities. We've identified these communities through surveys that we conducted last summer, and the communities that we found, they would share some of the challenges they're experiencing in their community with us, and that's how we gauged where we were going to place these officers. So they're solely dedicated to the communities, and they also are using other entities in the communities, like for the Bester, the Locust Point community, the Bester Community of Hope, for the Jonathan Street area, the Medal of Honor group. So we've also partnered with some other entities to help us achieve our overall goal, which the overall goal for us is it's going to have a direct impact on economic development, and we want to make these communities that have these challenges safer so that people want to come here, and it's a good place to work, live, and play.
Neighborhoods First has a very strong partnership with the Hagerstown Police Department, on top of other departments, but from a safety standpoint, residents who engage with the city through Neighborhoods First, they meet throughout the year. Our police department staff and sometimes other staff from other departments will meet with citizens through the Neighborhoods First program. They'll talk about concerns, possible enhancements, beautification, lighting, anything that the neighborhood would feel is maybe a need or a concern. It's a pipeline to, once again, engagement with our local government staff to create that safe, attractive neighborhood.
As you've seen and heard, Hagerstown's commitment to being a safe city is shared across many departments. A great example is our engineering division. While you can see part of their major project on the business-friendly side behind me, working with residents to address their safety needs is a priority also, which resulted in the installation of a crosswalk on Salem Avenue.
When I moved here, the first couple years there were several cars that were totaled. They were just parked along the street, and just cars coming down the street not paying attention would just run into the cars, and the worst one was when 3 cars were totaled. One was pushed all the way up on the curb and hit the side of the house. It was a mess, so I contacted Rodney Tissue and a couple other people. When I contacted them about it, they responded to me within 24 hours. Reading over the information they sent me, the bump out looked like a good option, and since there was a traffic signal right there, it was a good safety feature also. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience that they actually care about what we as the occupants and taxpayers want and need, and what we can do to make the city nicer.
We were the first police department in the state of Maryland to utilize the app. We're at a time that everybody pretty much knows how to use these apps. It's a free app. It was very cost effective to the city. I think it was somewhere right around $1,000 for the city to purchase this app. And it's been very advantageous to our police department in 2 separate ways. The first way is it allows people that want to remain anonymous, or they don't have to remain anonymous, but if they see something, they have the app, they just send something. And the second reason why it's beneficial to us is because it kind of works in the reverse order also. So if you have the app and you're in the circle where we're sending information to, we might send information, it might be about a water main break, or there's a detour somewhere, or something weather related, anywhere from those kind of things, all the way to something a little more serious, like an example, a few months ago, we were looking for a missing juvenile, and somebody had recognized the juvenile from the app, and we were able to bring the juvenile home safely.
One of the biggest challenges with fire and emergency services recently, as early as last year, in 2018, was the growing opioid crisis in Washington County. We've seen a dramatic increase in our response to overdose responses as emergency medical first responders. So our goal is to help try to educate the public, prevent that. We've been very active with the Washington Goes Purple program to help educate the public as part of our job so that we don't actually have to go out and do our job.
In 2018, there was a lot of work being done on the addiction issue that Hagerstown and Washington County, really the entire nation, faces as we are looking at the deadliest health crisis in U.S. history. We know we have a lot of work to do. So we were lucky enough recently with the help of the health department and a senior policy group to get a grant for a 24-hour crisis center that will be at the Behavioral Health Center on Burhans Boulevard. Emergency service providers will be able to take someone in crisis, whether that be an overdose or a mental health crisis, and they'll be able to go there and receive services and find out the best course of action for them. That's a huge win for Hagerstown and Washington County. And of course, we also launched Washington Goes Purple, which is an education campaign geared toward educating youth about the dangers of prescription painkillers. Treatment is absolutely necessary to fight this epidemic, but we have to stop people from becoming addicted and even attempting it. So that's what Washington Goes Purple is doing right now, spreading that messaging through our county, through our town. We think if we can stop addiction before it starts, 10 years from now, hopefully we won't be having the same conversation.
So business friendly from an economic development perspective means working together across all levels, from the top all the way down through every single department within the city. When working with big developers and site selectors, having everyone there to support this new business that's potentially looking to come here, keeping the county involved. They're a great partner with us, and we've been working very well together, and that's what's going to make this successful.
Low-cost, reliable, and safe electric supports the operations of the businesses here, and by being able to do that at a low rate helps attract new businesses to downtown and the city as a whole. Our rates are pretty much lower than the investor-owned utilities around us. We receive calls from companies looking to locate here based on the low utility rates, electric being one of them, along with water and wastewater.
We're doing an adaptive reuse of the space here and trying to bring a large retailer in, and we needed to segment some of the utilities. So a phone call to the utility department, specifically the water department, meeting here on site, and an email and a permit paid over the phone, and we were done. I mean, it was a quick, smooth. Contractor came out, put in the new water line for us, and we were done. And we're getting ready to bring in, a large Fortune 100 retailer to the space now.
In order to try to make ourselves as business friendly as possible over the last couple of years, we've been putting a lot of energy into focusing on how we operate to see how we can remove some of the red tape that can drive some of our customers crazy. And so we've made a number of changes, and if you were to go to our website, you can see what's been done and what's coming. One of the coming things is that we're looking to allow for online permitting, which is not something that we have the capability to do at present. And so another thing is, how do we deliver the message? That's another very important part of being business friendly. And so this year we're going to be focusing pretty aggressively on customer service training for our staff, on all about how we deliver the message and interact with our customers so that they understand that we want to maintain good relationships with them. We appreciate the investment that they're making in the city, and we want to help them bring their plans to fruition as quickly and as smoothly as possible.
The urban improvement project is moving along very well. One of the great accomplishments for 2018 is getting 4 census tracts approved for our downtown, for the Opportunity Zone. That's great for the revitalization with our downtown to help attract investors. With my position, business attraction, retention, and expansion, it encompasses a lot. I think we're at a point in time where the momentum is growing, and it's a great time now to have your business in Hagerstown in Washington County.
So Main Street put together the Open for Business campaign, which probably a lot of people have seen. We just wanted people, visitors, residents to know that downtown was open, even though there was going to be some construction that might impact travel of traffic downtown. We also have put together various events for the downtown. We do the Chris Kindle Market in December. We have a Sweets on the Street event in March that we do with the Run Fest that happens that same weekend. And then we also do a chalk art festival. And soon we're going to be starting a pop-up trivia night every week in downtown Hagerstown, a different restaurant to go to do some pop-up trivia.
What we're developing for 2019 for our major city event programming is called Imagine Hagerstown. It's going to take place over 4 weekends in June. So June 7th, 8th, 14, 15, 21, 22, and 28, 29. So the idea of putting everything in June and also marketing the complementary programming that other organizations are doing that month is to have it be that there's always something going on in June. And hopefully that becomes a catalyst for something going on all the time in July and all the time in August and all the time all year round. That's sort of the economic development thrust behind the new programming. I think from an artistic standpoint and from the community standpoint, I think what this event does is showcases other art forms, other genres of music, because we're a really diverse community.
We're looking for our niche in the community as far as what we'll be able to offer our citizens to keep them healthy, active, and happy in their everyday lives. Our parks provide happy spaces, green spaces, opportunities to meet new people, and just enjoy the great outdoors. We're so used to being inside now behind our computers, on our phones, and sometimes we just want to stop for a minute and look up. And we have these 22 beautiful parks in the city of Hagerstown, and it's just an opportunity to get outside. So we're looking for instructors and programming that would attract the citizens of our community, benefit their health, get them moving every day. So we're looking at things like yoga, Zumba, new programs like our anti-gravity fitness in our fit room. We're just always trying to evolve and offer new things that attract people to our parks and just make a better quality of life for everyone.
Preventing the 911 call is beneficial to the residents, the people that work and invest here, because it prevents the loss before it ever happens. It also saves money in the costs that we incur when we actually respond to an emergency. We responded to, in 2018, 3,734 incidents. We had a property loss in structure fires or in fires, fire property loss of about $1 million. But the total value of that property was $19 million. So we actually, what we saved was 90% of the property that was involved. So that goes to show a lot of what we do in our response and how we're here as an insurance policy to save the value of the city.
Since that time, last 12 years, we've done several $1 million of sanitary sewer rehabilitation, trying to utilize trenchless technology as much as we can to minimize the impact to customers so we don't have roads torn up and longer periods of time of being down and road closures and blocking driveways, and that also helps to keep the cost down on repairs. It's typically half to a third of what a traditional dig and replace job would cost.
The continued success and progress of the city depends on the employees who take pride in their work every day. Whether it's behind-the-scenes departments like our finance, human resources, and IT divisions, or those in the public eye such as billing and collections and communications. They all play critical roles to make Hagerstown the safe and business-friendly city I envision. I'm confident that with all of us working in concert, that's a goal we'll achieve.